Welcome to Legends Across the World, where we uncover the most haunting and mysterious stories from history. Tonight, we delve into one of the darkest chapters in American history, the Salem witch trials. It's a story of paranoia, betrayal, and the supernatural, a tale that still sends shivers down the spine centuries later. So, sit back, turn down the lights, and prepare to explore the terrifying tale of Salem's witches and the madness that consumed a town. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stories like this and hit the notification bell so you never miss a spine-chilling tale. The year was 1692, and the town of Salem, Massachusetts, was a small Puritan settlement struggling to survive in the harsh New England winter. The villagers were deeply religious, believing the devil walked among them and that witchcraft was a constant threat to their faith. Life in Salem was strict. Every action was judged through the lens of morality, and sins were punishable not just by God, but by the community. Whispers of evil were taken seriously, and in a town so small, secrets didn't stay hidden for long. That winter, something strange began to happen, something that would spiral into a nightmare. It started with two young girls, Elizabeth Betty Paris, aged 9, and her cousin Abigail Williams, aged 11. The girls began behaving oddly. They would scream uncontrollably, crawl under furniture, and convulse violently. They spoke in gibberish, claimed they were being bitten by invisible forces, and even threw objects across the room. The town was horrified. The local doctor, unable to find a medical explanation, declared the girls had been bewitched. Soon, other girls in the village began to exhibit the same bizarre behavior. Ann Putnam, Jr., Mercy Lewis, and Mary Walcott joined the afflicted. Their fits grew more violent, and their accusations began. Under pressure from the town's leaders, the girls pointed fingers at 3 women. Tituba, a Caribbean slave who worked in the Paris household. Sarah Good, a beggar known for her sharp tongue. Sarah Osborne, an elderly woman who had stopped attending church. The accused. The accused women were brought before the magistrates, Jonathan Corwin and John Hathorne, in a public hearing. The villagers gathered in the meeting house, eager to witness the spectacle. Tituba, under intense questioning and likely fearing for her life, confessed. But her confession wasn't ordinary. She claimed the devil had visited her, forcing her to sign his book. She described a black man who promised her power in exchange for her loyalty. Tituba's vivid testimony ignited a wildfire of hysteria. "Others are among us," she said, "working for the devil." This statement opened the floodgates. The girls began accusing more villagers, naming names seemingly at random. As the accusations grew, the paranoia in Salem reached a fever pitch. Entire families were torn apart as neighbors turned on each other. A simple quarrel over property or an offhanded comment could result in a death sentence. The afflicted girls became the town's grim authority, pointing fingers at whoever they pleased. People accused of witchcraft were arrested, chained, and thrown into cold, dark cells. The courts relied on spectral evidence, claims that the spirits of the accused had attacked their victims in dreams or visions. One of the most chilling cases was that of Rebecca Nurse, a well-respected elderly woman known for her piety. Despite her spotless reputation, she was accused of witchcraft by her neighbors. When Rebecca was found guilty and sentenced to hang, the town's collective guilt began to fester. Over the course of several months, 200 people were accused of witchcraft, and 20 were executed. 19 were hanged on Gallows Hill, their prayers silenced by the tightening noose. One man, Giles Corey, refused to enter a plea. He believed the court had no right to try him, and his silence was an act of defiance. The punishment for refusing to plead was brutal. Giles was pressed to death with heavy stones. His last words were defiant. "More weight!" The executions were public events, and the townspeople gathered to watch their neighbors die. But as the bodies piled up, the mood in Salem began to shift. The people started to question the validity of the trials. Could so many of their friends and family truly be in league with the devil? The collapse of the trials. The hysteria finally began to wane in 1693 when Governor William Phips intervened. He prohibited the use of spectral evidence and dissolved the court responsible for the trials. Those still imprisoned were released, and the executions stopped. But the damage was done. Salem was forever scarred. Families were left broken, and many lived the rest of their lives in shame and fear. The haunting legacy, even now, more than 300 years later, Salem bears the weight of its dark past. Visitors to Salem often report eerie encounters. Some say they hear whispers in the old jail where the accused were held. Others claim to see shadowy figures near Gallows Hill where the condemned met their fate. The Witch House, the home of Judge Jonathan Corwin, still stands and is said to be haunted by the spirits of those he sentenced to die. Salem has become a place of pilgrimage for those drawn to the macabre, but the horrors of 1692 remain a chilling reminder of what fear and superstition can do to a community. Conclusion. And that, my friends, is the harrowing tale of the Salem witch trials, a story of fear, betrayal, and the darkness that lurks within us all. What do you think? Were these events fueled by true witchcraft, or were they the result of paranoia and human cruelty? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to Legends of the World for more terrifying tales from around the globe. Thank you for joining us tonight. Until next time, remember, not all legends are just stories. Some leave scars that never fade.